This is interesting to me. I mean, the Twitch Elise with Nocturne, a lot of opportunities for BLG to play fast in the side lane. BLG needs it, being down 0-2 as Hoya. A rat and a Spider-Man, that's rough.
Yep, that's a rough spot for Hoya. He's going to flash, but the follow comes across for Own. And for the first time in this series, BLG grabbed first blood, and you can hear all their fans.
Taking the Raptors, and Feather isn't spotted here. They're going to look for a 3-man. Flash is up for the BLG bot lane, but if Hoya can ding too, yeah, here we go.
Diving in, gets the taunt onto Elk. Immediately Flash gets the stun. The invis is going to come across, but Beichuan follows with the Vault Breaker. They've spotted out Elk, but he's able to slip away, pushes the barrier out just to make sure he's safe enough. Ton of Summoners burn. You get both out of Elk, but a ton more out of ThunderTalk in general. Beichuan flies in with another Vault Breaker. Great dodge by On. Doesn't dodge out of the Galio knockup, though the taunt's going to land, and they've caught the Elise. The Spider gets caught in its own cocoon. Now it's way on the back foot. They're going to Vault Breaker forward. Good spell shield to avoid the knockback, but Satab's here now.
Getting the wave in.
Between Worlds were far too early on for any ultimates. With that wave stacked up, Wei has flash, but not even going to burn it. And somehow ThunderTalk with a disastrous start for Hoya turn it back 2-1. Hoya have been doing in the solo lanes on this Ezreal, because if you watch ThunderTalk games, when he gets this Ezreal, win or loss, this guy churns out ridiculous damage and highlight plays.
Yeah, will be something to look out for about this one. Is I think Ezreal, like Twitch, it's weird because like Twitch can almost, like, he really just forces you back, like if he gets an attack down at all. But 1xN, I mean, you got to believe that on the Ezreal, the mobility you have this game really solid. As no flash still for Elk. Yeah, here it comes.
R2.
Oh, that's a great play by On.
Out. Feather interrupts all the damage, though, from On and Elk. They execute the Twitch. In goes On for a trade, but it's a double up for ThunderTalk. A double up for 1xN, as we were talking about him in Feats of Warfare for the third game in a row.
What you should be doing is say that, Cubby, this might be the last game that you are forced to fit in UWU from producer Kelsey. Because that's
I was curious if you had forgotten.
Okay, good.
You got to find a way to fit it in. There's no love lost here for Waze. He jumps in with the first Paranoia. I'm going to follow Feather over the wall to secure that kill. There's the spray break coming out from Elk, but he doesn't get close enough for Satab or 1xN. 1xN in his own 1v1 mid lane with Knight. True Shot Barrage barely going to go wide.
The Yuntal, I mean, obviously Twitch has some options. Like, Bork's really good in a lot of scenarios as Twitch, but going for the straight crit, I will say I think I like it this game, just given how tanky his front line is. And the Q attack speed steroid, I believe it got buffed recently. It's really big.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, and also you get resets if you do get kills. Speaking of kills, Feather, no flash.
There's the invis, yeah. Gonna try and block up the E to see how much damage he can prevent, but
that's big.
Elk is too powerful. On with a good pick, and
for them, they have to overcommit to even have a chance to move either. So as long as they're able to kind of hold on.
Here's the catch onto that sneaky Ezreal, but it's just too powerful. We called it from draft. Elk invis, knock the lights out. You have yourself a kill, BLG. Executed perfectly this time round.
They do sack the dragon, so, you know, 1xN being off the map, not great. Elk being 4-1, not great. Galio, I think that's pretty worth it.
Now they'll maybe look for Knight, turn their attention bot side. Knight does not have that hijack between worlds, gets out of Satabs. There's the cease and desist down. Flash committed. Coming in is the Pantheon. That Grand Starfall is going to turn with his own cease and desist, but it's not enough. Knight picked off by ThunderTalk. Response coming from BLG, though. Elk pops out of the invis. There's no Paranoia available. Wei has to walk himself up, but they've already eviscerated Feather, knocking him down. And they'll make it a trade once more as this game sits on a knife's edge.
That's okay. You'll take that trade as TT. Gold's in a better spot. And also, oh, boy, that's aggressive from Satab. Wasn't expecting that. That's pretty risky, too, because now you're into a 3v2 with Elk hitting. Of course, Grubs were split this game, so damage going to be decent.
Oh, good dodge again. On's really on top of these repels to get away from key summoners, and the Elise proves pivotal. Double TP coming across. It's Knight and Hoya. They just can't find any further engagements. Hoya's flashing forward to try and lock down On. Should have enough damage. One more big Justice Punch to find it. Hoya's aggression is rewarded with his own kill.
Twitch and Elise. And in the back half of this play, Twitch got ult back up. Oh, hold on. Go back to live. Knight.
Oh, back in live. Knight once again
That's a
picked
Jax,
off.
though.
But Bin is teleporting in. The sleeping giant, maybe awaking from his slumber. Nice to make some impact, get on the kill score. Counter-Strike down, drops the Grandmaster's challenge as well, but can't chunk through the health bars just yet. Light's going to go out. Cease and desist, Hero's entrance combo. Isn't enough to eviscerate Knight. It does. Beitjuan going to trade his life as well, though. His way's on the front line, and Elk opens up the Gatling gun, spraying through TT's front line. Down goes Feather. They're chasing 1XN. Has to get that arcane shift up. Does get it. Does flash, but flashes in place. Doesn't get over the wall, and Way's going to find it. The first convincing fight win all night long for BLG.
Contagious fight for BLG. And Elk is the big benefactor out of all of it. He's going to base and have an infinity edge out of base at 18 minutes. This Twitch is massive and might be too much for TT to deal with already.
We get the interesting stat that we've watched both of our 80 carries with questionable flashes in back-to-back games now.
Yeah, you gotta pause real quick. Herald being taken. They can maybe hit the eye. Yep, that's a steal, but where's Elk?
Stealing away from Beitjuan, but they're going after Elk. He does arcane shift over the wall away from Way, but not away from Knight, who will eviscerate him. It's a split fight on both fronts. His own pops the repel, and TT are just cornered in the might of BLG. Elk pops back out of invisibility. Bin gets the Counter-Strike stun down, and this is what we expect from the two-time champs, wiping the floor with ThunderTalk when their backs are against the wall. Ace before 20 minutes.
Honestly, I thought Hoya actually had a decent fight. He found Elk, just wasn't able to get help as the peel was trying to come down for 1XN and not even close to being enough. And BLG just corral ThunderTalk. That's a clean ace. This Twitch is just Thanos already in this game with where he's at. And frankly, just given the state of the game, where Twitch is at, feels like this one's heading to a game 4. Elk just, he needs to be the focus in this game, but the BLG just, the beefy front line they have, not enough to get through as Elk, we're back. Yep, Twitch is ripping through people.
This is just getting bloodier and bloodier as ThunderTalk are trying to throw anything at the wall to see if it sticks.
Yeah.
And everything's falling plop to the ground.
I can see at least like kind of being a bridge for the Twitch, and Twitch actually is not terrible, at least with base damage. Like, you have some options in lane, but still, I think it's really tough. I'm really surprised that Elk got to the point that he's at in this game. Yeah, and BLG for the next 2 minutes, I kind of expect them just to kind of keep bouncing between these two turrets, and maybe they find an angle to threat. Okay, here we go. Otacon used.
Right on their voracious Otacon timer. They're diving on in as Way finds the backline. Hoy gets a pretty good Hero's entrance knockup, but Elk is untouched, and he is able to step up through the revives. They've got to wave up next to this turret, see if they can crush it, but Elk's a little bit wary. Health bar pretty low. Hoya is a big bad Galio with a ton of health.
Right down, but Knight keeping him busy. Not the case, and BLG just get to play out the map as it was 5v3 there for a little bit. Dragon secured, and BLG continue to cruise.
These neutral objectives looking like the all-sale Macy's calls for some of those stores shutting down. 60% off, everything must go, taking these dragons. That's how easy it is for BLG right now.
And get a pick, and then look Baron afterwards. Would really like that from them.
Vault Breaker doesn't get the knockup, so On's able to get the repel off through the cease and desist, and now Elk can step back up. Knight and Bin have flanked the back line. Down goes 1XN again, not allowed any space, and now they can fight back to front, and there's Elk on that big bad Twitch to burn through the remaining health bars. Feather's the only one to walk away to tell the tale of the mighty BLG. It might not be exciting, but it's what we expected from the two-time champs.
I mean, we've spent so much time talking about how fed Elk is this game, and Beitjuan pretty much kept him busy for the vast majority of that fight, and it just didn't matter because the rest of BLG were able to take care of business. 1XN had a tough game this time around. A lot of things that can attack him, as it's kind of hard to deal with. Like, you got a Jax, a Nocturne, a Silas.
You know, the game 4 that we're expecting, even more exciting, even more on the precipice. Another last-ditch effort for ThunderTalk is Beitjuan gives his life to the sacrifice. Elk, though, just burns through everybody's health bar here. He does pick up the GA, so even when you thought you knocked him down, he pops back up and starts shredding health bars once more. Maybe looking here to find all the kills. Knocks down Feather, knocks down Hoya as well. Double kill secured. 1XN the last one, just trying to lead the horses to slaughter, but they're heading back to the stable that's known as the Nexus. The cleanest game of the series so far goes to BLG. Down 0-2 no more. They find themselves their first win of the series.
Yeah, nothing like picking Twitch. You're just going 15-2-11 in the game. I think it's an easy player of the game there for Elk, who, and when you pick Twitch, the game revolves around you. That was Elk's comfort zone for this one. He really cashed in on this pick.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.